Hello, I'm Nikki Starr, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a very quick video just to announce my camp plans, and then I have to actually get on and do them. If you watched my last video, you'll have seen that I finished my Space Pirates draft for book 1 and we were on the second draft. It was a full rewrite. So that has now been done and has been parked. If you've been following me for a little while as well, you'll know that I've been doing a romance book alongside this, and that hasn't had the amount of progress I necessarily wanted it to. I haven't finished that yet. So April is going to be split up a little bit into a couple of different areas. The first thing I want to work on is Project Magic. So if you were around for my Milwordy attempt, or the NaNoWriMo before last, I believe. This is something I've been working on as kind of like a standalone, but in my Space Pirates world. It was called Project Magic because when I first wrote it, it was the only book I had with lots of magic in it. I've since tried to incorporate it into the Space Pirates world so that if when I get to querying, if people don't want to invest in a massively long series, we've got something we can kind of kick off with. I did some of that in a NaNoWriMo, as I said, and I hit the 50k, but I didn't finish the book and it's kind of just been left kind of unfinished somewhere. So as part of my April plans, I want to reread what I had and also make note now of where it may not fit with the actual Space Pirates world, because I've done a lot of changes as part of the current draft I was doing to the kind of world and how things interact. So I need to spend some time making sure that this actually is consistent with the whole thing and finding a timeline to put this into, because at the moment the timing of it in relation to my other books is vague and I'd like to have a more strong idea of where everything's landing. So the plan is to do a reread of that and potentially a replan in April. I am allotting 10 hours to that. I don't know whether that's actually going to work. And those are going to be 10 40-minute hours. As I said, pretty much nearly every video I do, when I plan out writing, I plan an hour to be 40 minutes to allow for setup time or to allow for some breaks in between a couple of sprints. Essentially also to let myself get ahead of myself if I need to. So if I'm having a particularly busy week and I manage to do a full 60 minutes on something, that will be an hour and a half. So it allows me to kind of speed up my time. What I also want to do is 5 hours on my romance book. I've been planning more than that in a week and it just hasn't been happening. So I don't want to force myself too hard on this. I would rather get 5 solidly good hours in it than tell myself to do 10 or more and never quite get there and feel disheartened by that again. So we're going to do 5 hours, so just over an hour a week. And because I'm doing this all as 40-minute hours, both of those together, so my 15-hour goal is going to be 600 minutes with my 40 minutes. So I've put into the camp website 600 words, which looks a bit silly because it used to allow me to pick minutes. It used to be able to give time, and now it's kind of reduced what it lets you put into the camp website. So I think there used to be a separate camp website, I think was the problem, and then they tried to incorporate it with the normal Nano. I'm kind of assuming that everyone clicking on this video knows what Camp NaNowRimo is, but NaNoWriMo is a competition in November to write 50,000 words in 30 days. The camp versions that happen in July and April are set your own goal kind of things, and essentially you put a goal forward and then as a community we're all working towards our own goals. It's not a competition with anyone else. It's always a competition just with yourself, and the camp ones tend to have a bit more laid back because you can pick your own goal. So that is what I will be doing over the month of April for my writing. There's a couple of other ideas that are brewing in the back of my head that I'm mostly trying to potentially ignore, but I might spend some time today, which is this is currently the second. I really should be starting to work on some of these goals, but there's a couple of ideas brewing in the back of my head that what I might do is try and do some planning on and get something onto paper so I remember what's going on in my head, and then try and let it go for April, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, that is the plan for the next month. So that'll be all for this video. Let me know down in the comments whether you are doing camp this year, and if you are, what's your kind of goal? Are you doing it based on word count? Are you doing based on time? Are you doing any other kind of metric? Are you doing a novel? Are you doing a screenplay? I would love to know if other people are doing something slightly different, because I always just do novels. So it'd be interesting to know if anyone's doing anything a little bit more out the box. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Nikki Starr, and I will see you in the next one.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's